in New Jersey, we use the WIDA standards and WIDA levels. So when I'm talking about students who have like level 1 and 2 proficiency, that would be like our newcomers and maybe our students who are at the beginning part of their English language proficiency. Students at levels 3 and 4, they might have a bit more English that we could build on. So when we're thinking about translanguaging, which is one of like my favorite things in the world, which we will talk about, translating and target language. So things to think about. So there's lots of variables. We have students in New Jersey. I recently taught at my old high school. And when I was teaching multilingual learners, I had in that school alone 9 languages, which near us, that's kind of nothing. You know, there are some districts that have, Keri, I wonder what yours is, but, you know, that have 40 something, 50 something different languages represented. So yeah. So do our students have literacy in other languages? Well, possibly we could build on that. If they don't have it, we're going to build on whatever it is that they've got. So we're thinking about like, are their languages similar to English or not? And that SEMH is social, emotional, mental health. And that's something that we always need to keep at the forefront of our minds.
Yes.
So translanguaging. So this would be where your students and all humans kind of just use all the languages that are just inside of their mind and soul when they are communicating, whether it's in writing, whether it is academic speech, whether it is just like very casual speech with their peers. So that translanguaging would be that like seamless going back and forth, that seamless weaving of different languages. Sometimes it could be among 2 languages, sometimes it could be among 5 languages. And it's something that it's really important for us to engage our students in and to really encourage them to do. So if I'm going to translate, sometimes it's a good idea and sometimes it's not. And that's kind of the issue, is that like it's such a gray area that nobody could say never translate and nobody could say always translate. Well, if I'm going to translate something for my students, would it make sense to them? Do they have that grade level literacy and vocabulary in any other language? Or am I translating to something that they wouldn't know anyway? And Keri's heard this before. Like I use the example of 10th grade biology. So if I have a student that comes to me and I'm giving them some important 10th grade biology, but they never learned these terms anywhere else in any other languages, that translation is going to mean nothing. So building the schema, the vocabulary, the background knowledge, using videos, audios, different, types of visuals, maybe front loading the vocabulary where I'm going to choose key vocabulary, introduce it first, have them like engage with it first, really understand the vocabulary, and then go into the content area. That would be something that would be probably preferable than if I just went in and translated everything, because that might not make sense anyway. What I would do is, I really don't want to say simplify because that sounds pretty kind of condescending. So I would clarify or summarize information in English, taking out like whatever they don't need. Then if students wanted to kind of translate that, that's fine. I even could have it in an outline form if I wanted to, just with simple phrases or keywords. When students are writing, they could write in any of their languages using translanguaging practices. Then I would have them, hopefully I will have front loaded some key vocabulary first. I would like for them to use those in English. So even if they're writing in French, if they're writing in any other language, and then put those words in English and then come back. Then what I would have them do is, write in whatever languages they're going to write in, go back and then kind of decide for themselves what other words that perhaps they should translate alongside so I could understand. what they said. Do I need to know every single word that they write to know if they're in the ballpark and if they're understanding the concept? No. Just kind of a much better way than just throwing a whole essay in Google Translate and calling it a day. You're really like you are taking ownership of your languages.